What up? What up? Welcome back, everyone, to Just a Minute. I'm your HoopSeen host, Austin Smith, and my partner in crime is Justin Young, who is our editor-in-chief here at HoopSeen. And man, I feel like I haven't seen my brother JY in a long time. Brother, happy post-Thanksgiving. Welcome back. Thanks for joining the party. Man, I missed my guy. We've been out, man, but we're back for today's episode. I'm excited to be here, man. JY, how are you feeling today?
I'm good, man. Sometimes life just happens. You know, you got to celebrate with your family and friends. You got to have some holidays. And definitely was on the road a little bit the last couple of weeks trying to get some stuff set up for our 2022 season. So sometimes the just a minute may mean just a week to get back to normal. But here we are. It looks like, did we just become best friends? I mean,
we did. Check it out,
swag, man. I like it. I like it.
Yes, sir.
We got a lot to talk about, man. Yep. We got a lot to talk about as we usually do.
Clearly. And I mean, look, I'm just gonna go ahead and do even more promo. Like JY and I are rocking new HoopSeen hoodies. I got mine, so I'm certified now. Nobody can hate, nobody can say anything. People always say, man, Austin, how you always get your gear? Don't worry about that, man. Just know I got hooked up. I'm good. Happy holidays already.
That's right. We got a lot more coming too. So we'll have some new swag at all our events this year too. So I think people will be pretty excited about it. So
yes,
we'll see what we got up our sleeves.
No doubt about it. Well, let's get the people what they're waiting on, man. Let's talk basketball. A big show, kind of a good little lineup for us today. Let's talk about the buzz, JY. What's the latest buzz? It's event season, right? And two big-time events are underway, you could say, are about to start happening ASAP. We've got Hoop Hall West, and then we've got the Bash. And without further ado, man, I'll go ahead and let you dive into both of those big-time events coming up very soon.
Yeah, it is hoop season. I mean, like, I think December is probably the most underrated month there is for basketball. We always talk about, the live periods for April and July, but December from start to finish is nonstop. It's just like Christmas shopping. Like, you can go any day of the week, you can go find something good and you can put it in your basket and be really happy with the holiday season. I think this week in particular is where it really starts to get some momentum. As you said, we got the Hoop Hall West going on out here in Arizona. We'll be up in Scottsdale. We'll be at the Footprint Center in downtown Phoenix. As some of the best teams in the country come out here. By the time this goes to air, I'll probably be at the game I'm most excited about, and that's Dream City Christian playing Arizona Compass Prep right out of the gate. We talked about it about a month ago when those two teams played, and Compass won on a buzzer beater from our guy, Kylan Boswell, and probably one of the best games I think we'll see all season. So we got a rematch right out of the gate in the city of Phoenix, and we're really in Scottsdale at Chaparral High School. So that's something to look forward to. But, man, we got the heavy hitters coming to town. Also, we got Montverde coming to town. We got Wasatch. We got DeMatha. We got our guy, Coach White, Sharma White from Pace Academy coming out. We got a lot of the top teams in the West. Who else am I forgetting, man? We got Duncanville High School from Texas. We've got games that are going to be all over ESPN Plus. We've got games, like I said, over the Suns Arena at the Footprint Center, where the highlight game over there for me is Oak Hill against Compass. But then you've also got Bishop Gorman from Vegas playing St. Mary's from Phoenix. You've got Centennial with Jared McCain playing Sunny Slope High School. You got Perry High School with Koa Pete, maybe the top freshman in the country, playing Bronny James and those guys at Sierra Canyon. So, man, there's a lot going on, Austin. We'll be there for all of it from the duration of the week. So I'm really excited about that. I think there's a lot to talk about. And certainly next week on Just a Minute, we'll be recapping all of the Hoop Hall West. But, man, I come out to this event every year. I love this event. Obviously, now that I'm here, it'll be a staple in our coverage. And man, it's funny because we were talking before we got started. It used to be Hoop Hall. That was always the event up in January up in Springfield, Mass. Right. And now they've expanded it into all these regional events. And really, I think this is probably one of the premier events of the season that we got going on. You going to be watching some of it?
Man, absolutely. You know I'm tuned in. Listen, the greatest thing that I think ESPN and Disney and all those great people who produce the content over there on that network, ESPN Plus is amazing. All right. I'll take my little $6 that you can use on a burger and fries or a Chick-fil-A sandwich, and you get a month subscription of all the videos, right? All the games, all the matchups. It's unbelievable. You can watch college games, you get the high school games.
Man, this is a paid advertisement. What do we got going on here, man?
Look, man, I'm not trying to get too deep into my bag there, but again, you talk about a great. Let me ask you this, JY. What's the difference now with the landscape of having something like an ESPN Plus? So let's just talk about being able to see all the games on platforms online. How has that impact been over the past year, specifically this year, post-pandemic? How does that make the job easy for college coaches in general to see players and prospects?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it does give you a lot more accessibility. Like you said, I mean, all you got to do is pull up your phone now and you can watch a game. Like, I watched a lot of Holiday Hoopsgiving from our friends over at SUV TV. I've been catching up on that. Like before the sun comes up, man, I got games already in the queue and going through that and pushing through those games. So I think it just gives you better film that you can see in totality. Like I'll be honest, man, I never watch highlight videos. I just don't. I don't watch highlight videos. I want to see the totality of a player's performance. And so for me, like that's really big that I can sit down, I can zip through a game really quickly. I can skip past free throws and dead balls and all that stuff. I throw that thing on mute and I'm locked in. So if that's how I'm doing it, I don't even have a scholarship to offer. I can only imagine how beneficial it is for college guys. And again, the quality of games is going up significantly. Right. Like, let's take a regular high school. You're playing 30 games on the season. Okay. Roughly 25 to 30 games. And no disrespect, the old way you'd have a hyper local community high school and you'd play in your region, your district, or whatever you want to call it. And of those 12 games, 14 games, 10 games on your schedule, I'd argue 70% of those games are probably not great games. Right. It's just simple mathematics. Now, I mean, we're talking about like powerhouse program playing powerhouse program, highly, evaluated and scholarship player playing another highly, hyped player going head to head. I mean, it happens on the regular basis now. And so that's part of the situation with technology and with broadcasting. There's so many channels for everything that now you have so many options you got to fill with content. So if I'm a college coach, I'm loving it because again, we've always talked about it, more apples to apples evaluation situations. And now you've got access on it where you can be on demand. And so for me, my personal rules, I try to watch 2 games a day, every day. And so I'm going through Holiday Hoopsgiving, going through that and watching, Southern California Academy, who I've seen a lot in person, but I want to see them go against some teams that we know back east and how they've done it. They've done tremendous. And it gives me a chance to see like Norcross or Wheeler or some of these other programs back in Georgia. And so it's such a huge benefit. But honestly, if you can get to the game and you go see it for yourself, now that we've kind of gone back to that, process, and if you can mask up and be there for it, then do it. Do it. Go watch the game in person. It's 10 times more enjoyable.
No doubt about it. Well, JY, man, again, like you said, brother, one of the very cool things about December and the holiday season is the matchups and a bunch of tournaments, and you get to have the opportunity to see, like you said, those apples to apples, man. So again, everyone, 2 big events coming up, Hoop Hall West and the Bash, both of them. Yeah. You want to stay tuned into. Go ahead. Yeah,
Justin Byerly will be at the Bash in Charlotte, North Carolina. Our guy Josh Tech has been covering everything in Georgia. Our guy DC has been killing it in the state of Alabama. I know he's got some stuff on the line. Brianna Patton's been busy down in the state of Florida with some events, the Coaches versus Cancer. She went over to the Montverde IMG game, unbelievable game that she was there for. So she'll be there for that. She'll also be at City of Palms. So we have a lot of things going on. Make sure you're a subscriber at hoopseen.com for your respective states. So you're in Georgia, you want to know what's happening in the state of Georgia, make sure you subscribe to the Georgia site. Our guy Justin Vargas is killing it right now in Arizona with coverage. So if you want to know what's happening in the state of Arizona, go subscribe over there. Same thing with Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Tennessee. Our guy Andre Whitehead did an unbelievable story the other day, Carolinas. So we're growing that as well. So make sure you're a subscriber to the site and keep up to date with what's going on across the country.
Yes, sir. No doubt about it. Let's keep it going. Really quickly, JY, I want to go to our special segment here, the commitment of the week, big name player that a lot of people do know about. And he's no stranger to the YouTube mixtape mafia for sure. Let's talk about Robert Dillingham and the decision to commit to NC State. Where do you see this move projecting him career-wise? And then also, what's his impact when he steps foot on campus?
It's funny. I remember Justin Byerly first telling me about Dillingham probably 2 years ago, and JB was super excited about him and what kind of player he is. Guy, like you said, he could absolutely go get a bucket. Certainly creative. He's now at Donda Academy, the prep school started by Kanye West. So certainly a kid that a lot of people are going to see. Kind of like the Sierra Canyon of the South, if you will, for what they want to create. And Dillingham, that dude's a bucket. He's an absolute bucket. There's a little bit of, for NC State fans, a little Ryan Harrow kind of wow factor to him. Ryan, I think at the same stage was really similar, right? Just fun to watch. And before viral was viral, he was viral. You know what I mean? And I think Dillingham's probably a much better scorer than Harrow, and that's saying a lot because Harrow could absolutely go get buckets. Right. But yeah, Robert Dillingham, man, that guy's a major pack a major punch for the Pack for Coach Kevin Keatts. So, anytime you can keep an in-state guy and keep him to stay, close to home, I think NC State fans are going to love it. But for them, that's the number one highest rated recruit that Kevin Keatts has landed. And you can make an argument coming out of high school, maybe one of the top 5, at least on the ranking standpoint, highest rated guys that ever commit to NC State. So significant pickup for the Pack. We'll see how much it plays out down the road. Smaller guards do have a tougher transition going to that next level. So we'll see how well he continues to develop and grow his game. But yeah, I mean, man, big time early commitment for the Pack. Yeah.
Wow, man. And I fortunately had a chance to watch Robert even more. Like, you had to
What do you think? Yeah.
Again, you mentioned Ryan Harrell, and I'm gonna be a little biased, but like that dude could flat out score. That's one of my favorite players all the time, solely because of his size and what he was able to do with the basketball in his hands and how he really helped launch. I guess you could say mixtape mafia here. He's one of the guys that had a mixtape to kind of blow up and was one of the 4 founders of that. But you talk about I want to say, use the term Robert Dillingham's, I want to say electricity. What I mean by that is his wow factor that you see when he plays. You see the handles, you see the shooting, you see the scoring, you see him drawing crowds. And I think that is what a program like NC State needs. I think it'll help continue to NC State has a long history of basketball success. I think it'll kind of give another pulse and revive that basketball culture that's there, even back to maybe how it was in the past potentially. But you talk about a kid who can flat out fill up the buckets. You talk about a kid who can flat out just do amazing things with the ball in his hands. It'll be interesting to see him play. I was able to see him play a little bit at Hoops Given with Donda Academy. And again, like I said, I was able to see him a little bit during the summer. I think he played with CP3 for a little bit. So just watching where he's kind of grown and seeing what this could be, again, another big move for Kevin Keatts and his staff for him to get him on campus at NC State.
How do you guard him? Like, if you're a coach and they see, how do you guard him? Because he's so quick. And I like that. He's electric.
Yeah, he is, man. And one thing that we have to keep an eye on, again, you talk about the size factor, because smaller guards do have tough times. But for a kid like him, we'll just have to wait and see. I guess you could say that. Get your popcorn ready, I guess,
Well, I'm asking you, like, you're a coach. How do you guard him? I want to know, how do you stop him?
Well, here's the problem.
You gave me the blow-by answer. I want the nuts, man.
All right, listen. If I'm a college coach, you can say you throw size at him. But if he's quick enough to get around bigger defenders, then there's that. I mean, you have to try to throw some double teams at him. Maybe you hard hedge off of ball screens. I mean, it's maybe you turn him into a shooter. There's so many ways you can do it. I think it depends on what you have defensively for your team, what your philosophy is. The obvious answer to say is, with him being a smaller guard, you throw bigger defenders at him and you kind of bump a little bit, see what you can get away with and make it hard for him. And then from there, you kind of force him to let other guys make plays without him having the ball in his hands.
Well, I think it just goes to show what kind of talent he is. If there's multiple ways that you have to think about, how do you stop him? How do you contain him? And that's a credit to Robert Dillingham, what kind of player he is, man. An absolute bucket getter, an absolutely electric player. And man, NC State, when was the last time we've really spoken this highly about a guy going to NC State? So man, big time coming to Raleigh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's move on, Jay. Well, let's keep the ball rolling. Each week, we always take a look at players who are available. So just real quick, if you guys on top of your head, who are some of the best available players who've done well the past week?
Yeah, so we'll do this every week, right, as guys commit. So you may hear the same names. Maybe we need to rethink that as we move through. But our top 5 guys that we still have left on our HoopSeen 100, I think there's only 10 guys left that are uncommitted. Here's our top 5, okay? We've got Mark Mitchell at number 7, Anthony Black out of Dallas, out of Duncanville High School, Zion Cruz, who's over there with Robert Dillingham over at Donda Academy. Did you see Zion? Did he come through and play?
I didn't get to see. I didn't get to see Zion play.
Well, Jersey kid can absolutely go get buckets. Johan Traore, who I'm really excited to see again here at Hoop Hall West with Dream City Christian. They've been traveling everywhere, man. They were Mississippi. I think they're in Carolinas, and they're going to be back over here. So just coast to coast, all over the place. But Johan Traore, one of the most dynamic guys in the class, still left on the board. And then I love Eric Daly Jr. out of IMG Academy. He's an absolute matchup problem inside and out. I think he's going to give the team a lot of value. Love his physicality. So those are 5 guys that we have still remaining in our HoopSeen 100 that are uncommitted and unsigned at the moment.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And like you said, man, we might need to change it up a bit because it's the same guys, but that shows you the talent level, and that shows that there are some elite level players still out there, man. And these guys,
well, we'll take it a step further next week. We'll go to the next 5 just to keep a little variety in the show.
Bet you heard it from the man first. Be on the lookout for that next week. I love this part, Jay, while we go into our deep dives and we deep dive into the players and recruitments. But today, let's do some deep dives on point guards. Let's talk the floor general position, JY. Who do you like, man, from what schools, and tell me about them?
I have 3 guys. Okay. I have 3 guys. I've got a guy that we know a lot about. I've got a guy that I think is blowing up, and I've got a guy that I think is being way under recruited. So we'll dive into these 3 guys at the point guard position. If you're a college coach, I've got my point guard available report. If you want it, jyoung@hoopseen.com, just shoot me an email. Let's talk about it. Anyways, Jordan Pope from Prolific Prep. Love this dude. If you're into guys who are going to mess up brackets in March like I am, Jordan Pope's that dude, man. He's visited some of the best mid-major programs. I thought Wichita State was going to be the program that probably got him. He's visited a lot of like that level, like high-level, mid-level program. I think Jordan Pope, every time he's on the floor for a Prolific Prep, whether it was last year when he had Milos Uzan there with him, whether it's this year and he's got Dior Johnson with him, I think Prolific Prep is a much better team when Jordan Pope is on the floor. I think they're more efficient. I think he's got the propensity for the big game moment. I think he's unafraid of the shot. He's a Bay Area kid. Every time I see Jordan Pope play, I love everything that he does on the court, and I think he's probably one of the most impressive guys that's still available at the point guard position nationally. And whoever lands him will win games in the NCAA tournament because he's on their roster. That's simple. Okay. I don't know if I can spell that out any more clearly. I feel like Nick Saban right now, chiding the media, like I'm using my hands off camera. Like I feel like I'm in Nick Saban mode. Like, anyways, but Jordan Pope is that guy for me. Moving down the list, I just saw him. I've seen him a lot actually on film and then in person out here at some of the events that we saw out here in the grind session. And Jeff Monegro at Orangeville Prep. This guy is tremendous. And I didn't know anything about him going into the season. I saw him play multiple times, and every time I watch him play, I thought he was really, really good. Our guy DC saw him down at the Lighthouse Classic. Orangeville Prep is playing really all over North America. I think he's a guy that can warrant some justified mid or high major looks at the point guard position, 6'3". Here's the thing that struck me about him. He actually reminded me, bear with me here. He reminded me of you. Dynamic leader, commands the presence in the huddle, looks you in the eye. When he speaks, you believe him. That's why I love you, Austin. Like Jeff has that same sort of ability.
My man.
He's a leader. And I told him after the game, like, man, I love the way you lead. I love the way that you command respect from your teammates. Guy gets the foul line every time out. If I'm on the floor, he's my teammate and he's my point guard. I believe him, and I want to run with him. So I'm really high on Jeff Monegro out of Orangeville Prep out of Canada as a guy. And then finally, a guy that if you're a junior college coach, we try to service every level of prospect here on Just a Minute. JJ Wheat, if you know anything about HoopSeen, you know we love JJ Wheat out of Clarksville, Tennessee. He played with the PSB team out of Nashville. He wins, man.
There you go.
He wins. What was the Herm Edwards quote? You play to win the game.
All day long.
JJ Wheat, that's all that guy does is win, man. He's a linebacker to the rim, powers through guys. He's super fast. He's super tough. And I just texted with our guy, Andre Whitehead, last week. I'm like, why? What's the deal here, man? Why aren't more people recruiting him? He's like, I don't know, man. He's one of my favorite guys. And I think enough people that have seen him a lot feel the same way. I think JJ Wheat is a guy, if he has to go junior college, he's going to be a player that I think a lot of schools at the high level will recruit even after 1 year at that junior college level, if that's the route that he has to go. But I think JJ Wheat has a ton of value and is a player that I think 2 years from now is going to come into college and people are like, man, who is this guy? We've been talking about him since we saw him for the very first time playing with us. I think JJ Wheat's a major value player for somebody down the road.
Boom. Well, there you have it. 3 guys for you. You got Jordan Pope, Jeff Monegro, and you got JJ Wheat, 3 point guards who are making their presence felt this season. And again, college coaches, jyoung at HoopSeen.com. If you need a point guard report, I'll shameless plug for my guy. You know what I mean? Tell him, hey, don't. If you don't know now, you know. All right, we're putting all the free game out there for you guys for now. and holler at J-Rock for the rest. But definitely check those 3 guys out, point guards who really make an impression. They've made an impression on JY and our entire HoopSeen staff. So keep their names in mind. Another not new segment, but another favorite segment of mine, JY, is Hi, my name is, and let's do it a little bit differently. Usually we say hi, my name is to a player. Let's talk about hi, my name is a venue, and this venue is Legacy Sports Park. Hi, my name is Legacy Sports Park. JY, tell us about Legacy Sports Park.
All right, well, you're going to hear a lot about it. I mean, that's the bottom line. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff over there for HoopSeen West. We've got the HoopSeen tip-off going to be over there. We've also got our brand new, I love this logo, the Cactus Classic.
Oh, that's tough.
Okay, so that's coming.
That's
all right, so I've been to a lot of venues all over the country. We use some of the very best there is. This thing is a monster. So no matter where you're at, no matter if you're back home in the South, if you're out here in the West, if you're in the Midwest, heck, if you're like Paris, France right now watching this, you're going to want to come play an event at the Legacy Sports Park. It's got 18 courts under one roof. Okay. They've got an arena on campus as well. They've got all these over 40 sports. It's directly across the street from the Gateway Airport in Phoenix. So there's 2 airports in Phoenix. There's the main one, Sky Harbor, where everybody flies in. Then there's the Gateway Airport, which has a lot of the budget airlines flying through there. I think, oh man, I'm drawing a blank. What's the I can't think of it, but it's Allegiant Air flies through there. So I know a lot of travel teams will do that. They're on a budget. They're trying to get players across the country or to different places. Allegiant Air is a airline that goes straight to there. It's literally, here's the airport, here's the venue, like it's across the street. So we got tons of hotels over there, tons of places to eat. To give you a context of where it's located here in Arizona is really similar to what Alpharetta was like 10 years ago in Atlanta. So give you some context, right? Maybe 12 years ago in Alpharetta, that North Fulton area, or even kind of out there in that West Cobb, that Powder Springs, right? It was a little country, and then now everywhere there's Targets and CVS's everywhere you look. Like,
look, man,
that's it. So like that's kind of where it's at now. It's in this growing area, but we're going to be out there a lot. We're really excited to work with those guys and to be a renting partner with Legacy Sports Park. And I think the HoopSeen brand, we've always tried to find great venues to pair with our great experience. And I think we've found ourselves something that's really, really special. So we'll have a lot of video. And as you kind of get to know, if you're back east, you're looking for an option, you want to look at that Cactus Classic. It's going to be April 29th through May 1st. Okay. Come hang out with us. The weather's still really nice. Let's go get some tacos and have a good time, watch some basketball. So you're going to hear a lot about that event and that venue moving forward.
Nice. The Cactus Classic.
Excuse me. That's a first. That's the first sneeze ever on Just a Minute. Usually on the radio, we got a sneeze button. I'm sorry, man.
Bless you. Like I mush your button and say bless you.
How about that? That's I couldn't get out of the way.
It's all good, bro. It's always a good first time for first, man. We'll take it. Again, hey, coaches and players and teams, make sure you all get registered for that event. That Cactus Classic is going to be off the chain next year. You heard about the Legacy Sports Park. You want to be there. Make that trip, man. Take that trip out there to get your teams. If you're on the East Coast, take a trip out to the West Coast, man, to give those players a good experience, just to hang out, but also a competitive environment during their travel ball seasons. Yeah. You can register for that event on hoopseen.com/events. Go there. Get it signed up before it fills up. You know how we do HoopSeen style. We bring you the best venues, highest quality, so you all can have those great environments to play for your travel ball seasons in 2022. JY, last thing of the day, man. Any last words from you, my brother, on today's show?
Yeah, I know. Hopefully, you're a travel coach and you're still watching it. And you made it to the end here. I know that you're thinking about your schedule, and I know you're thinking about what am I trying to do. So we've got live period events. We've got convention center events. We got highly competitive non-live period events like tip-offs, the Bob Gibbons event. We got the Cactus Classic. We've got the All-In Invitational. We've got the Carolina Jam, Bama Jam. And we've got so many options for so many different teams that if you need help crafting your schedule out, let us know. Okay. Go here. Let me pull the number up. You think I'd have it memorized by now. But the HoopSeen hotline, I want you to plug it in. I'm going to say it 3 times so you can get it in your phone. 470-266-8862. You got it? Oh, yeah. Get that in that phone.
I already got it.
470-266-8862. 8862 is the HoopSeen hotline. If you're a travel coach, if you're a team mom, if you're trying to think about what's the best experience for my team, if you're a 14 and under team, a 12 and under team, if you have a women's team, we got you. If you're an elite level team, you're a shoe sponsor team, we really do service every level of travel basketball. And if you text us at the HoopSeen hotline, 470-266-8862, we'd love to help you craft out your schedule for the year 2022. Schedule's here, man. We're out. We're coast to coast. We got options for your program, whether you're big or small, or sponsored, not sponsored, or you're just trying to figure it out, or if you're an established team. Every level, we got you.
Yes, sir. Well, there you have it, everyone. Again, make sure you check out hoopseen.com to stay up to date with everything we've got going on here at the HoopSeen brand. This concludes the episode for today's Just a Minute. Man, as always, it's good to be back on the screen with my brother, Justin Young. I'm Austin Smith, the HoopSeen host. JY is our editor-in-chief. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with us. We look forward to seeing you very soon on the next episode of Just a Minute.